This is the HX Collective Relationships channel, where we explore the complexities of human connection in all aspects of relationships with key stakeholders. Today's thought provoking conversation features Dean Carter as they share authentic relationship stories that have transformed their human experience. The HX Collective explores the human experience through three main channels of life: work, relationships, and self. With raw, authentic conversations, the podcast investigates how challenges can become powerful teachers, leading to personal growth and deeper connections. Rooted in humanity centered design, each episode reflects a commitment to doing good and doing well, featuring diverse voices and generational perspectives. Expect gripping stories of struggle and success with thought-provoking discussions and concrete tools and tactics that encourage you to rethink your relationship with distress, helping you to establish your full human experience. This is the HX Collective channel. So, Dean, talking about the workplace and inevitably so much of that business case for human flourishing, you just gave us such a fantastic roadmap. And I loved your example of the programmatic approach to thinking about human engagement, but not in the abstract of happiness alone or joy alone. In the end, it's sort of thinking through using innovation in a way of thinking outside the box. And the second lens of the HX Collective really looks writ large at relationships. And we think about
Yep.
relationships not only in the workplace, but when you think about human flourishing in the context of all of the stakeholders and the communities in which you're serving. So, when you think about the elevation of what it means to be human in the various types of relationships you have, why, again, right now, do you think it's such a critical priority for people like us and others to be really putting our attention on capturing the humanity of the human experience, if you will?
Because humans are interesting. You're not the most interesting one on the planet. Like there's a bunch of really interesting people, and so find them. And I don't know. There's it's really important to not have a single perspective. If you're just kind of in the looking glass and it's just you, having the perspective of the people who bounce that you can bounce ideas off of, humor off of, concepts off of, all these things, like having a strong community of your friends, family, things are super important. And I can talk to just, my relationship with my husband Mark. So we're celebrating our 25th wedding anniversary. And we got married at a time wasn't legal. I've married him 4 times, by the way, same person. So it's very hard for us to separate. But the our relationship is purposeful. Like we do things on purpose, and love is, and even friendship and care is not a state of being. Love is not a thing. It's an action. Being loving, being friendly, being caring. It has to have like the ing on the end of it to matter. Like being in love or being a friend or whatever. You really, these are active actions. And so my biggest takeaway on building relationships and is you have to be active. And I am also active in my community. So I believe that the better my community is, the better my home is. So I'm always an activist in whatever community I'm involved in, from the time in Dallas when we built a memorial for AIDS survivors, or to the time here in Santa Barbara where we're working on maybe a potential memorial for the 23 people that died in the Montecito mudslides. Just like, acknowledging moments of sorrow and heroism, and the people who mourn and the people who save and the people who connect. Great, there's a great example of community. I live in Montecito, and whatever you think about Montecito, Oprah and the Royals, and no, they're here, but there's actually real humans who live here. And when the mudslides hit and 23 people died overnight on my birthday, the way the community came together, who supported each other, and literally billionaires and bartenders came together with buckets in their hands to help people repair their homes and fix them, and young and old, and wealthy and not. And it was really powerful to see a community that came together and repaired. Didn't go, oh, the federal government needs to come in and fix us, or the state needs to do something, or someone needs to do something. We just came together and held hands and literally, literally got in the mud, you know,
Yeah.
got in the dirt with our neighbors.
I love that story. I hate the circumstance of that story, but I love
Yeah.
the outcome of the story. And, it begs the question, crisis often does bring out the best in people, particularly when you're dealing with things, if you think
Yeah.
natural disasters in general, where there is clearly a community of people affected and those that are not. And what I know about you, and Mark for that matter, is that your purpose mindset will absolutely rise to meet a point of suffering or a challenge or to come alongside. But I also know that you are purpose driven in the flourishing moments and building community and connecting with your neighbors and the things that just require time and attention. And so I know that in the midst of a crisis, it's amazing how much all of a sudden we have time. But when there's not a crisis, it's a question of prioritization. How, on a practical level, like if I'm listening to you talk or listening to our
Yeah.
conversation, it's like, how do you prioritize or how do you find that sense of purpose that also kind of affects your willingness on how you steward your calendar? What are some things to be
Yeah.
thinking about?
I want to talk about another type of flourishing. So my husband is a swim coach, and he runs the adult master swim program here. And what he does, he believes in swimming. He believes it's probably the sport that you can do all your life. And he loves it so much. He just loves the sport. He loves the community of it. And what he does, he's like, I'm not helping people. Yes, I may help you be a better swimmer, but I'm actually bringing you here to help you connect to a community. I want you to love the water. I want you to love the people in the water. I want you to have the time of your life. And what I know is while they're swimming, their bodies are getting stronger. The breath is getting better. They're going to be able to walk longer. They'll be able to live longer. All these things I know that are like things that are getting this benefit from. And at the same time, they laugh together. They have fun together. They play together. They go dinner together. They go to drinks together on a regular basis. It's a really tight community, and it's a magnet. It has started really small. And because Mark spent so much time curating a very human experience with music and time to talk in your lanes, he encouraged not just about swimming, but not just loving the water, but loving the people in it. And he is beloved in this town.
I hear you.
And he's helped, and people would say he changed my life. He helped me to flourish. He helped me. I now can swim again, or I was afraid of water, or I used to keep competitive. Now I'm in it, and I love. And so our holiday Christmas party here is like 220 people. We have 220 swimmers here, and they're of all ages, from
Mm.
0 to 100. I mean, not 0, but maybe
I
8.
get what you're saying.
And yeah, so like, but literally to 100. We have someone who's 100-year-old who swims on the team. And anyhow, a funny
That's such a
story
lesson,
about,
though. Well,
yeah,
no, and I love that you're talking about Mark because, again,
it's easy to talk.
like attracts like, I'm wondering if there's a good portable takeaway because, my idea of swimming is, I can't conceive of a scenario where that would be the choice, like the door in, but I
Yeah.
think the door in, swimming's just incidental. It's just
Do
the
what you love.
occasion.
Find
Do
something
what
that
you
you
love.
love and other people that love it too. Just
Well,
do
and
that.
that's
Do
it.
pottery.
So that but
Whatever it
I
is.
think that's what it is, and so I think, again, if on a really practical takeaway, if people are thinking about the human
Yeah.
experience or like, "I wanna put more attention on humanity," to your point, it's like it doesn't it's there's no magic idea, it's
Yeah.
just if you individually are on fire for something and
Yeah.
then you choose to use that thing to be the convening,
Yeah.
mechanism, am I hearing it right? Like, if
Yeah,
you were
100%. I like the power of community. And I also want to know the power of community, of people coming together to care for each other, and it's an open community, not like a community that becomes elite and says this is the community that no one else can be a part of. You
Yeah.
know that I'm not a big fan of like communities that are
Exclusion.
exclusive
Yeah.
and or like us and them. So I'm not an us and them community at all. I'm a big tent community person, and everyone, whether you swim or you do pottery or you ride horses or like me, you enjoy classical music. Like, what are those things that I'm not on the swimming thing for my own part, but I do. I get my my joy and connection and flourishing moments in other ways. So find something that you love, and you will find someone else that loves it too.
Thanks for being here. If today's conversation sparked something in you, we hope you'll carry it forward with curiosity, compassion, and courage. Subscribe to the show, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who needs it. Until next time, keep exploring what it means to be fully human.